Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foul Ball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you're doing well. I am doing great. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So big fun night for the channel the other night. Uh it was bittersweet. Bittersweet. It was nice and also kind of sucked. So the Expanse finale was the other day, and the Expanse is my favorite show. I would like to just make that clear to the world out there. The Expanse is my favorite show, maybe ever. Maybe ever. Okay. I love The Expanse. I've watched every episode multiple times. I have a channel practically dedicated to praising it. Okay. And this season sucks. It's a bad season. It's poorly written. It's agenda driven. I think the agenda on this show stands in for good writing because the writers and the showrunners found themselves in a tough spot and they didn't have enough time and money to rewrite and reshoot the entire season. So they just went for the woke play to get, hey, we'll get points, and then we can kind of limp our way through this season, and then we'll pick up and make it interesting next season. And look, if you didn't think, here's my if you're having trouble with the information that the Expanse went woke, you either are A, not observant enough to notice it, B, you haven't come around yet, but you will notice it, or C, you do notice it, but you're wrapped up in agenda spreading too, so you're going to pretend like it isn't woke agenda. Those are the only three ways that this goes. It's woke. Okay, The Expanse went woke. It went intersectional feminism. It had messages about, it over-focused on the female stuff. It had polyamorous fams and just stuff that, while in past seasons, like, there could be considered what's like, woke people might be obsessed with these types of representations. It was always just done. It was never highlighted for an agenda's sake. And it's not even, I believe, it's not an opinion. This is what it is. This season is agenda-driven woke garbage. Okay, not the whole season, just the second half. All right. And that's not saying, notwithstanding what happened to Kaz Anvar and his firing, and then the death of the character Alex, which I think was a mistake. I honestly think that was a mistake. I think they should have just recast the character, because killing him off almost celebrates the legacy. Like, this is a reluctant thing that they had to do, and they wish that they didn't. And they're kind of feel like it looks like they're backed into a corner, which isn't the case. They chose to fire him, right? They are on board with the reasons they're in, and it comes across really wobbly. Like, why not just recast him and move on? Like, to celebrate him, it's almost like you're saying, like, these Me Too bullshit. Like, that's almost how it comes across, which I know is not your intention. So why did you do this? It's a mess. And so all those things combined, it culminated with, our streams talking about it, the end of the 5th season, the finale. But miraculously, we had the biggest guest who's ever been on my channel, but someone that I completely adore and watch constantly, respect, and has given me a lot of confidence to say the things on a microphone that I maybe never would have said. Gary from Nerdrotic. He came onto my channel and did a show with me and Jake D and Draco Argentis. Hail to all those gentlemen. And it was like one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me, man. I was so excited and super nervous. Tried to play it off like I wasn't, but I was. I think if you go back and watch the tape, you'll realize I talk kind of a lot because I was super nervous. I tried to be more calm, but I wasn't. I was nervous. Hey, c'est la vie. So that was amazing. And having Gary on there, I really admire and respect Gary's point of view and opinion. He's a very intelligent guy, very learned, doesn't have an agenda, even though some people think he does. And he was on the stream with us, and he completely sees it the way that we see it, because that's what it is. It's either you can't see it or you pretend you don't, but it's there. It's not arguable whether it's there. It's there. It's whether it's how you feel about it is what makes it different. But that's not, its presence is not debatable. And that was great. I mean, that was really cool to have Gary on. I knew he would think that way because I know I watch enough of his stuff to know what he thinks and how he thinks. I knew he would think that way. But it was still amazing to have him on, and it was fun, and it was so surreal. It's like I'm talking to the guy I listen to constantly. It's like I was like literally interacting with the show. It was so weird, but it was really cool. I'm very grateful that he came, and he is welcome anytime, Gary. Anytime you want to come on, you are welcome. My cat is going after his little scratch post, so if you hear like a little ticky ticks in the background, it's Luke. That's little Luke. But the funny thing is, after the Nerdrotic thing, so real quick, YouTube algorithm is a tricky thing. I don't understand it. I just kind of do what I think I'm supposed to do. So after live streams, what I do is I unlist the video, download it off of StreamYard, and then re-upload it as a video, because apparently it gets more traction. And it has. I mean, every time I've done that, it's gotten more traction. So Gary tweeted the link to the live stream. We had like over 70 people in the room at one point, which was far more than I've ever had. It was really cool. It's really fun. And the video, and I think he linked it on his Instagram and his Facebook. And so that link has got something like 800 views now, and a like ratio of like, 101 to 8. Which is typical for my channel. My channel is generally about 90 to 100% like ratio. It's because I've got great people, great fans, and I love you all. Thank you very much. But the uploaded video, the public video, that wasn't all of that wasn't mostly Gary's fans. It was just the public. It's about 50-50. 50. I do not have any videos that have that much traction and have that kind of a ratio. 50% downvotes. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's very interesting. It's the reaction that happens when you call out woke stuff, right? You either have the cognitive dissonance where it's not happening, and I don't know what you guys are talking about, and you're making this big thing. Just go back and look at anything that happened with the breakdown of Game of Thrones in the first few episodes, the breakdown of Star Wars after The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, people talking about it, all the cognitive dissonance there. The casting of Jodie Whittaker in Doctor Who, everyone acted like it was, they're just afraid of a woman, when it's not that. That's the big response, and I'm seeing it firsthand, and it's really, really interesting. I've always known it was out there, but it's never happened to me before, and it's very insightful. It's a little disappointing, because like, you put out what you believe to be true, and you would hope that like people would respond in kind with like, appreciation, and getting so much backlash is like, oh, this is the real fight. This is the real like trenches of this type of culture war, when you're talking about the things that they don't want you to acknowledge. They just want you to accept, download, and don't think about. Just get in the matrix, plug yourself in and turn your brain off. That's what they want. And when you push back, it challenges their programming. It's like a little tremor in the system, and it doesn't work. I'm super grateful for all the people that came out. I mean, it was so cool that Gary sent like his people. I mean, I'm his people, but it happened to be on my channel, so can't watch and stream at the same time. But I was super grateful for everyone who came out. It's a subscriber bump of like 50 on the channel, which is huge. I mean, it can take me several months to get 50 new subscribers. So to get it in a day or two was amazing. Thank you very much. I'm super grateful. I'm glad you're here. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk some shit. Going to say some things that people don't like, but this is the nature of the beast. I mean, if you're going to come on a platform and speak what you believe to be true, likability be damned. Yeah, you're going to get some people who don't like it. It is what it is. Hopefully just, people who do like it stick around and support me and press like on the videos. You know what I mean? Yeah, so cool. Thanks. I mean, look, it's just, I'm not like upset about it. I think it's fine. Obviously I would like it to be I'd like it to be 100% likes and everyone's like you're a genius, but that's not the real world. So it is what it is, and it's just interesting to see. But the Expanse is woke, and there's really no debate there, no discussion. Whether you accept that or not, whether you think it's good or not, that's all up for debate. What isn't up for debate is the fact that it's a representation heavy season. And I think their hands were tied and they're acting like they think it's okay. I think Cass Anvar just threw the big monkey wrench in the whole thing. And they're like, yeah, we've always been like woke and feminist. And it's like, I mean, kind of, but like you never beat us over the head with it. You just did what you're supposed to do. You don't lecture your audience, and you just, put women in powerful positions, and then they're dealt with like any other character. They don't have superpowers. They're not better than their male counterparts. They're just human beings like everyone else. And it's like, yeah, that's what I think you really think you want. I mean, it's not what you really want, woke people. It's not what you really want. What you really want is like this vindication, of this perceived inequality. And you want it payback. And you want vengeance and you want blood. Which is not, you're not saying that, by the way. You don't have the courage to admit that. You don't have the integrity to even really acknowledge it inside yourself. You think you're fighting the good fight. You're not fighting the good fight. This is division. This is divisiveness. Just look at any socialist regime. It's funny, all these woke people, when you push back on their beliefs, and it's like, they talk socialism and they're like, they laugh at you. It's like, do you understand, like, when socialists like take over, when there's like a socialist coup, like it's always the people that are influential that are silenced. Artists are always put into camps. Intellectuals are always taken down because they can challenge the system. They can challenge the powers that be. So priority one is to silence them. And if it's a, military dictatorship, then you kill them. But if it's what goes on in this country with this thought like Borg, this thought monster that's just consuming like the blob, you silence them. You strike them on YouTube. You ban them. You rally the troops to resist. That's what this is. And if you think it's anything else, I mean, you're just naive. And the truth is, the evidence is that you see that they won't stand and debate. It's not about them discovering a more righteous truth or a more refined truth. They know they're right. So there's no discussion to be had. And if any dissenters just need to be silenced because they know the gospel. They know the gospel. They don't need to hear you challenging it. They have already believed. They have turned their brain off. They've downloaded all the agenda talking points, and anything contradictory to that is contradictory to life, and you got to go. You got to go, buddy. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is now. And it's not surprising. It's a little surprising. It's a little surprising that it happened to me because I didn't think woke people would ever see what I do, or at least it would take a while. You know what I mean? Because I exist in such a bubble. I exist, in the orbit of Gary and Nerdrotic and all these guys. And like, we all are on each other's channels and watch the same videos. So it's like, I just surprised anyone who isn't already in our little crew would watch anything I did. So that's why it's surprising. I'm like, oh, like the public's checking this out. Oh, interesting. This is going to get messy. Then the public's not ready for the truth yet. It's like the Morpheus line. Like they're so ingrained with the system, they'll die to protect it. I really think it comes down to this, is that they have modeled their life, like their lives have become a cause. Like that's what they do. So it's like, if you were to really ask them if they asked themselves on an individual level, like they had like pause, like pensive moments of self-reflection and really wondered what they as individuals thought, I think you'd get a lot of people that weren't so programmed. You'd have a lot of more individuals, which is, what the wokeness is the contrary of. Yes, that sentence made sense. And because that individuality is not, you sacrifice your individuality for the greater cause. Like that's the point, right? It's like you're doing something for society. You're fighting inequality. You know, like that's how it's sold to you. You know, meanwhile, you're really not. You're fighting intellectualism. You're fighting enlightenment. You're fighting nature a lot of the times, and it's doomed to fail. And it's not the kind of. It's just I don't. I think when you see these woke people, like they're miserable. Like they're absolutely miserable people. The work can never be completed because the utopia they want, could never exist and certainly won't exist in their lifetime. So they're going to fight their whole lives tooth and nail for this thing that doesn't exist, can't exist, and won't exist. And so they're going to be like fighting it constantly. They're at war. And you basically become cannon fodder for a cause that, look, has got a whole lot of problems. Has got a whole lot of problems. I think, a lot of the principles, if you can call it that, like if I'm being super generous, the principles in wokeness, like, okay, like they're humanitarian, they mean well. They're executed like shit and they don't care about results because it doesn't matter. They're right no matter what. It doesn't matter if their policies produce dog shit. They don't care. They're right. So just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until the whole thing collapses and everyone's standing around like, what happened? And by then it won't matter. So by then we'll be a province of China. But what I think about this stuff, I mean, first of all, I think if you are like affected by this, if this like emotionally affects you like it does me, if it's something where like you feel overwhelmed by it and you feel like crushed and trapped, you got to find the people who are speaking the real truth. You got to go find them and you got to listen to them because that will set you free. Because once you realize there are other people out there who are not trapped in the matrix, where there's Morpheus and Trinity and other people are out there thinking for themselves, it's freeing. It's like it's a huge weight off your shoulder. Huge weight off your shoulder. I can recommend a few if you like entertainment free of woke bullshit and pandering to the industry and like glad handing garbage. Go listen to Gary at Nerdrotic. Go listen to Doomcock. Go listen to what's it, Midnight's Edge. That community, Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, those people, those guys, well, I don't agree with everything they say. I don't think they're like gurus or anything. They just speak from a point of view, a practical point of view, and they have the sensibilities to dissect and recognize when it's not just like a failure of effort, it's a failure because agenda is the priority and the product is shit. They are very precise. They're very observant at that stuff. And not everybody is. And if they are, not everyone's articulate about it. Those guys happen to have all the qualities, and it's really cool. As Heels versus Babyface, anyone who's on Friday Night Tights, those guys are usually very sharp. And if you're looking for like to me, the fucking surgeon of this shit, the Surgeon General is Ryan Long. And you've probably seen his skits. You've probably seen like his 2 or 3 minute videos. They're viral all over the internet. They're hilarious. They're so precise and super funny. And Ryan Long's a brilliant guy because what he manages to do is pick apart this bullshit, but it's coming from just such a perspective that it's clear. He's not like a conservative, he's not like a political pundit who's pretending like he's open-minded, but really he's just fighting this one side because, he thinks his side's right. You know what I mean? Like he's not like that. He's a genius and he's hilarious and he's tough as nails and he works really hard. And he's my favorite guy. And when you listen to these guys, when you listen to these people who get it, who are sharp, who are like observant and insightful, and they don't suffer fools and they won't just say what they won't, like when people tell them what to say, they're immediately like, why are you telling me what to say? Like, what to think. They challenge it. They have a visceral reaction to it. And then they take it one step further and create content with that point of view in mind. And it is so healthy for the free thinking mind because you allow yourself to, you connect with them, even though you never meet them or whatever, you connect with them on an intellectual level and it really elevates you as a person. It frees you. It does. So seek it out. If this shit's driving you crazy, like it drove me crazy, it still drives me crazy, but like it was getting, you feel trapped and alone. Seek out the good people, man. Seek out the smart people, listen to them, put them in your lives. It'll set you free, man. It'll help you a lot. At least like it helped me. So I imagine it can help you too. I mean, then there's like the political people too, but those guys kind of get a little exhausting. I can only take small doses of like, people who are like conservative. So they're anti-woke as well, but they're also conservative. So they get a little tired. Like the Rubin Report is interesting. Candace Owens, she's an interesting voice. It's just, they're kind of like, I don't want to say they're anti-SJWs, but they're also kind of like their side's never wrong either. Like they're not just having a conversation about ideas and trying to figure out what the best one is. Like they're coming in with solutions too. What's interesting about them though is I find that sometimes their solutions are practical and are valid and applicable. I just, you watch some of that stuff on like PragerU and they're just like, why the Republicans have never made a mistake. And you're like, oh, Jesus, man. Okay, whatever. Like, there's good conversation happening here, but like I'm not signing up to be a part of a side. Okay. Like I want to have conversations about all these things and we'll kind of come together and discuss what's the right idea, or I'll come to a conclusion for myself. This isn't a team sport for me. I'm not like, rah, like this team, fuck there's no team. We're not at war, guys. This isn't a fight. We live in a society. We have to coexist and try to make what's best. The thing is, we just disagree what's best, but we need to be able to have a conversation to get there, or whatever. I mean, I'm not waving a magic wand over society. That's all. Whatever. Shut up, Matt. It's just for me. I appreciate having those conversations. I listen to the conversations, people with alternative ideas and badass opinions that go out there and say them, despite the fact that they're definitely going to get negative repercussion, because the woke people are on patrol. They're on guard. They're doing patrols. Was that line from Full Metal Jacket? Sweep and clear. They're doing sweep and clears to find the people with the wrong think and extinguish those fires. You can imagine what an empty existence that must be. You're just on Twitter all day trying to find the bad people. And then you believe it too. Like you authentically think you're doing good in the world. Oof, what a sad existence that is. I pity you. I don't feel bad for you. I pity you. That's too bad. That sucks. It's sad that that's how you think. Oof. I love that NPC meme where that's like, they have all those cliches, those sayings that NPCs say. So accurate. And they have the one that's just, who radicalized you? And then the face like leans in. You did. It's like, yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's like you think that like hyper aggressive suppression of speech will get people on your side. What? Like excluding people from your communities and aggressively tackling any contrary idea, any even thinking about it for a second, and it's crushed. Ugh. Balcony doors open and some dickhead with a loud car is driving by. And you think that'll rally people to your cause? No, idiot. People go away and they go think for themselves, but now they're angry. Now you've made them angry. So now radical ideas are going to seem more appealing because they're frustrated. They were being reasonable, rational people. You crushed them because that's part of your war. And now you've just sent away someone who probably was reasonable and you've sent them angry and anti whatever it is you think. So they'll find another thought bubble where people are anti what you think and are very welcoming to angry people. Okay? That's who radicalized them. You dumbass. You can't crush conversations and try to dominate the entire country's like conversation sphere and expect people to like it. You are the exact opposite. You are the kind of person. Hi, Luke. Hi, Kitty. Kitty's upset that I'm getting all political. But you're like, it's like, just have a little empathy and respect, just a little. Try it on for size. I know it's difficult. I know it takes a lot of mental work for you, but I believe in you. You can do it. And think about if someone told you how to think. Imagine Trump supporters were like the dominant group, right? And they were all over social media and they were telling you how to think. And they would try to get you out of the community. It's I just, you know what? I'm like, you know what? All I can hear is the gears in their head turning. I'm not arguing with woke people. I'm not arguing with them. I'm not going to have discussions with them because it's not possible. They're programmed. Fuck that. Fuck trying to rationalize with them. Fuck trying to reason with them. They're broken. Their brains are blank, just filled with what they're supposed to think. Having a rational conversation with them is just it's not done. I've had these arguments with them, and what ends up happening is they move the goalpost. They take what you say, they make a complete straw man out of it to the point, and then you talk and argue for so long, you start to go crazy, and then you snap. I snap as a passionate person, and then they got you. You acted like an asshole. It's they're the least good faith arguments and discussions I've ever had in my life. And they're despicable because they're not having a discussion. You're having a fight. They are fighting you because you don't already agree with the bullshit. You don't already agree. It's despicable. It's despicable. And it's so funny. Like, that's how these echo chambers form. And that's how they get so reinforced so strongly, because they refuse to allow to have a conversation with anyone other than the people who think exactly like them. And then they wonder why people like are rejecting them completely. It's like, you're an intellectual parking lot. You just empty and gross looking. It's just, there's nothing. It's I want to say it's worthless. Parking lots are useful. Maybe a parking lot's not the metaphor, but it's just bink, nothing there, nothing to be offered. It's just, it's so ever present, although it's getting better. Back to the original point. I'm totally rambling, but that's why if you're not a woke person, that's why if you're a regular thinking person, you got to find your people and you got to go check them out and listen to them, because it's healthy for you. You don't have to be inundated with the bullshit. See, I just got a comment on my YouTube channel about the Expanse video, the one that's unlisted, that Gary's people are still checking out. Hail Gary. Thank you, Gary. And he expressed his feelings with the Expanse and why it was so validating to hear another person speak up about it and say this, because it's and I know exactly the feeling they're describing, because that's how it was for me for years. Like, knowing Star Wars was trash, really bad, and it was loaded with agenda and just everywhere, and you just felt like you felt like you're in enemy territory, and like you're like some double agent from a different country, and everywhere around you's enemies, because they all were like, "That was great. It was so good. It's da, 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 da." And you know that if you speak up, it's your ass. Like, you're not allowed to disagree with the crowd. So you just have to take it, and everywhere you look, it's just getting praised and loved, and it's garbage. And then you finally find someone who sees it the way you see it for what it is. They get it. And it's like, it's so validating. It's just like, oh my God, it's freedom, man. It's freedom, because if you feel like your opinion is the minority and you don't feel safe to express it, and then you hear someone like on the internet in front of a microphone saying it and people listening and agreeing, it's healing. It's honestly, it's healing. And that's why I recommend like going out and finding your people, because getting a comment like that, like even though it's ratio, my video is ratioed, it's basically 50-50. I know there are people out there who needed to hear that. People that felt isolated, people that felt like this sucks, right? Why is this bad? Like, why does this feel so off? And you're like sitting there like all confused, like your favorite show's good. And you're like, let me go hear what other people are thinking about it. And then you hear them say, and you're like, exactly. Yes. Yes. You know, obviously you want to avoid living in an echo chamber. You want to intellectually question things and challenge them. But if you are a logical thinking person, you'll do that anyway. You know, everyone can fall victim to being in an echo chamber, but you got to patrol yourself. You got to make sure you're not doing it, you know, but find your people. Find your people, man. They're out there, and it means it just will heal you. And it'll, for me, it just made life more palatable, easier to live. You know, I could function. I could listen to people saying dumb bullshit and accept it, you know, and it wouldn't ruin my day, or it wouldn't bring me into an argument that there was a no win. You know, I have peace because I got my people, and I know, this is okay. This is just your dumb shit. Whatever. Cool. I know, like, and you can kind of like play games with them in your head, like, and then you're kind of like, and then you're gonna go here, right? Okay, and it's right. Got it. Patriarchy. You know, it's like, it's really interesting. Okay, that's gonna do it for me tonight, guys. That's another episode of the MFer. I appreciate you guys watching. Means a lot. I have a few weekly shows that are going to be coming up. Check me out here every Friday night at 8 for the 8 p.m. Pacific for the MFer Cocktail Lounge, which is just kind of a hang. Topics are going to be open, not just pop culture, kind of whatever I feel like talking about, wherever the conversation goes. You'll see some of the old regulars there: Vigilante Williamson, Jake D, Justin the Red Shirt, people from the community, and then hopefully, who knows, guests in the future, and whatever happens. Getting some cool people in there, some cool conversation. And then on Tuesday nights, to replace my Expanse coverage, which was so much fun, and I'm going to miss it even though the season sucks, because the fans are great. Hail to you, wonderful people. It's just so fun to interact with people about a show I feel so passionately about. But the Expanse is over, and I don't have another series that I want to cover episode by episode. So I'm going to resurrect an old show that I first did. One of the first things I did when I started YouTube. It's called Matt's Obscure Movie Recommendy Show, where I talk about lesser known movies that I happen to love and adore that people don't really know about. And I want to share that with you. So I'll be live streaming every Tuesday night. I don't know what time, probably 7:30 p.m. again, about different movies. And the first one is going to be, it's funny, it's going to be on a Monday, even though this will be a Tuesday show, I swear. But this one is going to be on a Monday, and it's going to be with Latino Slant, and we're going to be discussing the 1980s punk rock action comedy satire film, Repo Man. One of my favorites, starring Emilio Estevez, directed by Alex Cox. It's a classic. Harry Dean Stanton's got a big part in it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So if you're interested and you haven't checked it out, check it out. You can join the conversation this Monday, the, 8th, I think, something like that. It's coming up. And then, keep an eye out for those shows. I'll be doing some interesting movies and TV shows. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys coming by, and I'll see you all in the next one.